So you're thinking about making a move to Scenic Acres, and you want to know everything there is to know about the community, the pros and the cons, the good and the bad. Well, today in this video, I'm going to go through the top things that I feel are the pros to the community and maybe the not so good things. So stick around and we're going to jump into the pros and cons of Scenic Acres. Look, we help people just like you buy, sell, and relocate to Calgary every single day. Hey, my name is Charmaine and I'm with the Living in YYC Real Estate Group. Whether you're looking to make a move in 9 days or 90, make sure you subscribe to our channel, tap the bell for notifications so you too can be the first to get the latest market conditions for all of Calgary. And please, if you have any questions about life in Calgary, what it's like to live in Calgary, or just real estate in general, make sure you reach out. Me and my team, we are here to help. Now, let's get into our discussion about the pros and cons of living in Scenic Acres. I remember growing up as a kid living in Bowness, and I talked about my friends that lived in Silver Springs, and we came up the hill. And when Scenic Acres popped up, which is just on the other side of Nose Hill Drive, I would call Scenic Acres Silver Springs' big sister, just because of the homes that are in here. These massive homes on massive lots. Growing up, this was a place of pristine, a place of affluence. This was just a community that if you lived in Scenic Acres in the 80s, it definitely meant wealth. And you can see it within the homes when you're still driving around. Many of the homes are built with stucco siding or brick siding. You don't see that in very many communities, especially the new communities. They're all coming up with vinyl siding, which makes driving around Scenic Acres and potentially considering wanting to live here. This is a community with charm and elegance, and I know you and your family would be happy to live here. Scenic Acres is one of those communities that has it all. Mountain views, quiet streets, pride in ownership of homes, pride in ownership of the yards, and just a sense of community pride throughout. And there are some really great things about living in Scenic Acres, and there's also some not good things about living in Scenic Acres. Let's jump into point number one. You can see from where I'm standing in the background, we are on just one of the many walking trails that is in Scenic Acres. We are completely forested in. You would never know from where we are that we're actually just a few minutes away from Stony Trail. You can't hear it. It is peaceful. It is quiet. There's birds. It is breathtaking. And this was just on a regular street in Scenic Acres where anybody can access this. And that is one of the pros for Scenic Acres is the numerous walking paths, the nature, and then there's also the mountain views. You're not going to find that anywhere else. And we also get to run into people who are walking their dogs. And there's your number one pro for Scenic Acres. Pro number two, spacious homes and large lots. All of the homes that are in Scenic Acres were built throughout the 1980s and the 1990s. The expansive homes and the expansive lots in Scenic Acres are definitely a pro for anybody that wants to move in to an established neighborhood and have that larger, more custom home. And that's how I would describe the homes that are in Scenic Acres for the most part. You have the detached and the semi-detached, and there's a lot of high-end bungalow villas that are here. And that's what makes moving into Scenic Acres. And that's what the people want who are moving into Scenic Acres. They want that large custom home on the large lot, and Scenic Acres will give that to you. Another pro for Scenic Acres is the family environment and pride in community that shows throughout this neighborhood. Families move into Scenic Acres because of the homes and the lots, but also because of the park space, the green space, and the schools. Right in Scenic Acres, you have 3 elementary schools. There's a Catholic, a public, and a French immersion. You have parks that are absolutely everywhere, and you have walking trails like the one that we're on right now, which allows families to, once they get home, they can decompress in the evening by taking a great nature walk throughout the community. And I also want to highlight too, Scenic Acres is very safe. This would be a great neighborhood to plant your roots and raise your family in. Another pro for Scenic Acres, convenient access and transit. So the convenient access is There's two major arteries that get in and out of Scenic Acres. So in the morning or evening rush hours, there's no bottleneck coming in and out of the community, and also access to everywhere in the city. You can get to downtown Calgary from Scenic Acres in 15-20 minutes. Again, rush hour plays a factor into that. But if you want to head out to the mountains, you're 60 minutes from Banff. And because of Stony Trail, you can get to the south side of the city in about 30 to 35 minutes, making this a highly desirable location for families that want that convenience and have a great community to live in. And transit. Scenic Acres borders the Crowfoot C train station. If you live on the north side of the community, the C train station is literally in your backyard. If you're on the south side, it's a bit of a walk, but you still have that convenient access that is attached right to the C train station. And from this C train, so this is the red line, you can get anywhere in the city. It connects to downtown, it connects to the blue line. You can get to the south and to the northeast in, within an hour from here. Close amenities is another pro for Scenic Acres. So not only Crowfoot Crossing, which again is literally in the backyard of Scenic Acres, right in the community, you have Crowchild Twin Arenas, 2 ice rinks, which for anyone who knows just how sparse and it's hard for ice to come across, if you are a hockey or a ringette family, having that right in your community is a true gem because they have sticks and pucks and you can go use that facility all the time. But then you're also extremely close. You're 5 minutes away from Bowness Park. You're across Nose Hill Drive from Beaumont Park. You have both YMCAs within 5 to 10 minutes from here. Not only do you get large homes, large lots, but you have access to everything all within 5 to 10 minutes of all of these great amenities. Silver Springs has it all to offer for families who really want the most out of life and just to have all of those great amenities so close and have a great home and a large yard to come home to every single day. Now let's talk about the cons of Scenic Acres. The biggest one that I think all of you will agree with is the homes in Scenic Acres, while they're large, they're custom, they're all coming on that 30-40 year mark. So families have to make that choice whether or not they want to renovate or they want to sell and move into something newer if they want a new home. And that's also a barrier for families who are looking to move into Scenic Acres. Do you want to take on the pain of a renovation job, or if you want to move into an older home that has been renovated? Because that does come with a higher price tag. When families are looking to make a move into Scenic Acres, there's only a few home types that are offered in this community. We have semi-detached, detached, and there are townhomes which allow that first-time home buyer to come into Scenic Acres, but at a higher price point. And that's one of the negatives to this community. This is not a community that is really accessible to the entry level of the market, just because of the product type that is in this community. But I can tell you, when you're driving around and you're looking at the homes that are on each of the streets, there's just an air of sophistication and charm in all of Scenic Acres. The lawns are well manicured. The trees, they're huge, they're mature, and they line the streets. And there is such a pride of ownership and community sense when you're exploring Scenic Acres. And I know if you're looking to move into this community, you'll fall in love with it right away. Another con for Scenic Acres is the higher price point of homes. So where we had talked about the barriers to entry coming in, this community is really only accessible to families who are upsizing and who are upsizing into a higher price point. The average home in Scenic Acres based on 2024 stats is just over $777,000. The townhomes that are here, and they are gorgeous, but they're in that $550,000 to $600,000. So for many first-time home buyers, Scenic Acres is just not attainable, and there is that barrier to entry coming into the market in Scenic Acres. So that is a big con for some people. So unless you and your family are upsizing, this community may not be affordable to most people that are currently in the market. Another con for Scenic Acres, which also complements the higher price point, is the limited amount of product inventory that Scenic Acres offers. For homes, all we have are townhomes, semi-detached, and single detached family homes. That is it. So for anyone looking for a condo, they are not getting that in Scenic Acres. But on the other side of that, that's what makes this community keep that sophistication and that charm and that elegance, because there is only that higher end of the market in Scenic Acres. And you can see that affluence as you're driving around the community. And the people that are moving in, that's what they want. That's why they're paying that higher price point. They are getting that older home, which has so much character with the large lot. Another con for Scenic Acres is fewer rental options. Because we don't have that product that's at the lower end of the market, the lower end townhomes or the condos, the rental properties that are in Scenic Acres are at that higher price point, which forces a large part of the rental market not being able to look at Scenic Acres. The flip side to that, Scenic Acres would be a viable option for the professional family who's looking for a detached home in a nice community. I would definitely have a look here, but for the lower end of the market, you're not going to find that product here. And again, it's a barrier for people coming in to Scenic Acres. So there you have all of the pros and cons of living in Scenic Acres. And I hope you can take that information and use that when you're doing your research and make your decision if Scenic Acres is a community that you want to take a closer look at. Scenic Acres is a community you want to put on your list of communities that you want to possibly relocate to. Or if you're looking to make a move inside the city, make sure you come and explore the neighborhood on your own, or give me a call and I would love to have a further conversation with you about Scenic Acres, and we can talk about if this is the community that is right for you. Thank you so much for watching the pros and cons on Scenic Acres, and until next time, I will see you around town.